some awesome time management tips for you guys today. I have been speaking to moms all week, but this really could apply to anyone who has any task to do of any sort. So, as I mentioned the other day, I am currently reading a book called Eat That Frog. This book is awesome. I'm on like chapter 4 or 5 right now, and it is killer. But I've already learned, even in this first couple chapters, a lot of really valuable stuff that I wanted to share with you guys, and it goes right along with the series that I'm doing this week about time management for working moms. So Eat That Frog. So the concept of Eat That Frog is that picture this. So if you have a list of things to do, and we could talk about lists again, but if you have a list of things to do, if the first thing that you had to do in the morning was to eat a live frog, and you knew that that was the worst thing that was going to happen to you all day long, then wouldn't you want to get it over with first instead of procrastinating on it all day? So that's kind of the concept of this book. So basically the gist of it is, like we talked about the other day, we make all of our lists for the week, for the month. It could be for, the day, whatever our list is at that point in time, going through the list, prioritizing the list, and figuring out what's the one or two things on that list. So if 80% of the list is stuff that you would do that may or may not really bring you any true productivity for the whole day, or maybe isn't the most important thing that happens that day, and there's 10 to 20% of things on that list that if you do those things, it's going to change a lot. It'll make a big dent in the things that you have to do, and maybe one big thing that will affect everything else on your list. That's your frog. That's the biggest, ugliest task that you have to do that day. So by doing that task first, it's going to, then you can kind of breathe easy for the rest of the day, and you can get the rest of the stuff crossed off your list. But what most people do, like myself, is they look at that list and they see the littler things, the smaller things that maybe won't make as big of an impact if they get them done, but they're easier to cross off, so they do those things first. And then that big thing, that big frog that's on your list that will make a huge impact on your day or your week or your month or even your year is the thing day after day after day after day that's getting left on the list. So if you tackle that first, it's going to change everything. Now this could be lists, this doesn't have to do with anything mom related. This doesn't have to be anything that has to do with the home. I mean, this could be a work list. If you have a list of things to do at the office, and there's one thing on that list that maybe it's your least favorite thing to do, but it's this thing that you really have to do, get it done first. Get it out of the way, knock it out, and then move on to the rest of the list. If you have two things, if you have two frogs on your list, two frogs to eat, you want to pick the ugliest one first. So eat the ugliest one first, and then do the second ugly, and then finish the rest. So doing this is really going to help you be a lot more productive. It's you're going to get those big things off your list first, so that you can then focus on the rest, because it's important. Everything on your list is there for a reason. However, there are a couple of items probably on your list that are more important than others, and they're going to make the biggest impact in what you're trying to do and the goals that you're trying to achieve, whether it be at home with your family or at work, or if you're like me and you have a side hustle, or with your fitness. It could be anything, any list that you have. I have multiple lists for different things. I've got a to-do list for work. I keep on paper. That one goes on paper, and I have little check boxes that I make, and I check them off throughout the day. When it comes for home, I keep a calendar. I told you guys I use Google Calendar, and then I also make lists on my phone for things at home. But then for my business, I've got another calendar that I use on a whiteboard, and then I have different lists for that. So you make different lists for different things. I think putting everything on one list, at least for me, it's hard to prioritize between one thing and the next. But if you've got multiple lists for different things, I think it helps you kind of focus more on the task at hand that you need to get done for that day or the week or the month or the year. So this helps a lot with goal setting, and I definitely want to talk, if not in this series, at a later time, about goal setting and good ways to do the goal setting and how to achieve goals. By breaking off small chunks at a time. But even if you just took that concept of you have this big huge goal that you want to achieve, but in order to get to that big goal, you have to take different steps along the way. And so creating lists and milestones for you to reach those steps, you know, there may be one big frog on that list that you need to tackle in order to kind of get everything else escalated. It could be just getting up and working out every day. Maybe that's your frog that you have to eat every day. You don't want to do it, but if you get it done first thing, it's out of the way. So this could apply, like I said, this could apply to so many different things. It doesn't even have to be for moms. I think for moms, though, you know, it helps to have those lists and to know you got to eat that frog. For me, my frog, when it comes to my family, is making doctor's appointments. And I think the reason why I hate making doctor's appointments is because I know that that action is going to lead to another action, which is me having to take time off work to take my kids to the doctor or take myself to the doctor. So those are big frogs for me. So I need to schedule a couple appointments for my kids. So those are my frogs that are going on my list that I need to tackle first. So I hope this was helpful. I think by doing this, by getting those big frogs off your list first and eating them first thing in the morning, you're going to feel a lot more accomplished. You're going to have task completion of big things that are going to seriously impact what you're trying to do, and you're going to start to feel really good. You'll have those endorphins flowing, and you'll be able to tackle the rest of the stuff with ease. So hope that was helpful. I highly recommend, oh my gosh, I can't talk today. Highly recommend the book Eat That Frog if you haven't read it. Download it on Audible or buy it in the bookstore or on Amazon or whatever and read it because it's pretty awesome. Like I said, I'm on chapter 3 or 4 right now and I'm loving it. So hope you have a great day. Hope those tips were helpful and I will talk to you all soon in my next video for the series. Bye.